Hey guys, so we are very, very close to the start of the 350 million download celebration, and we have a movie that was just announced. Well, I guess not announced, but put into the JP version of the game via a data download. So we have that. We have some EZAs that were also put into the data download, and we have the new Zarbon. I believe the details were also shown off on the global version, but we're going to go through all of that right now. First, let's take a look at the movie. Now, this movie, I would say, is not as good as past years' worldwide / download celebrations were, but we're going to take a look at this anyway, and we'll start off by just watching a bit of it, and we'll talk about it as we go through it. All right, so this is basically, obviously, going from Piccolo's death, right? Because that's sort of the trigger to them wanting to go the Namek in the first place, to get the Namekian Dragon Balls to wish Piccolo back to life. So it's basically Gohan. This is basically Gohan's text talking about how he wants to go and resurrect Piccolo. Yeah, so it's talking about how he wants to go to Namek. There's Vegeta. So here's where things get a little bit weird. Like this, this Vegeta art is not what I would call premium art. This is not really this is not really what I would call top quality here. This is actually part of the home screen, the new home screen that we'll be seeing, or I guess title screen that we'll be seeing during the celebration. But Vegeta's in there. We got Frieza and Goku, but he's basically saying, talking about him wishing for immortality with the Dragon Balls, and he's saying how he can defeat Frieza and stuff like that. So this pretty much just follows the story of the Namek saga. Then we have Frieza also talking about getting immortality with the Dragon Balls. Again, I would argue that this art is not top tier, but all of these arts, by the way, were taken from, I think it was one of the guidebooks released officially. So this art is not like new. This is just pre-existing art that they recreated for Dokkan. And here we have Goku, and then Goku's like, I can't believe it, there's someone even stronger than Vegeta that exists. And yeah, obviously he's talking about Frieza, so this is pretty much the movie here. Then we go into the splash page, and yeah, it's the 350 million downloads worldwide campaign. And there we go. That is it for the movie there. Let's go ahead and transition over to Twitter real quick. It's just where I have all the info. 1 second here. Let me just transition this over to here. Perfect. All right, so there are 2 Genuforce EZAs, which is strange. I would have expected them to release all 5 at once, but it looks like they're going to be splitting up. What I imagine they're going to be doing is splitting up the Extreme Z area into different stages for each Genuforce member. So we have Goldo and Recoome as the first 2. Not surprising because they were the first 2 to fight. Obviously, Goldo fought Gohan and Krillin, and then Vegeta kills him, and then Recoome fights Vegeta, and then Goku comes in and one-shots Recoome. So here we have Goldo's information here. So Goldo is a Namek Saga, Ki +3, HP attack and defense plus 77% leader, or Tech Ki +3, HP attack and defense plus 50%. And then for his super attack, he greatly raises his defense for 1 turn and causes supreme damage with a high chance to stun. So that's actually a really useful super attack effect. Honestly, it's one of the better super attack effects for Extreme Tech, I think. And then his passive is attack and defense plus 80%. Then he gains an additional attack and defense plus 40% when Ki is 12. And then attacked enemies attack and defense minus 20% and seal super attack. And then gain an additional attack and defense plus 10% per Genuforce category ally on the team, max of 50%. So this guy's actually pretty decent for Extreme Tech, I think. Obviously, he's going to be good on the Genuforce as well. The one thing I was looking for from a lot of these Genuforce units was some kind of extra ability that wasn't just, you know, attack and defense and stuff like that, to maybe make them a little bit more viable on teams that aren't the Genuforce team. So for example, like I just talked about this guy being useful in extreme tech, he'll definitely still be good there, but like, you know, if he was some kind of orb changer, not even rainbow orb changer, just like a tech orb changer, maybe he gave like 1 key to the rotation, stuff like that, just extra abilities like that that would help him make the teams a little bit better. But I think in terms of debuffing, his defense should be pretty good. Going to be able to get some extra attack and defense on super attack, so he'll be like a good floater, I think, as well. Definitely a nice buff for gold, though. Nothing to be upset about there. Next, we have Raccoon. So Raccoon actually leads the terrifying Conquerors. I know what you're thinking. When you think of Raccoon, you think of a terrifying Conqueror. That's exactly what I think of as well. And then a physical type leader as well. Super attack effect is greatly raises attack for 1 turn and causes supreme damage and greatly lowers defense. Not as good of a super attack effect as Goldo, but it's alright. The passive is attack and defense plus 120%, and then he gains an additional attack and defense plus 30% per attack received, max of 120. So he's basically getting the initial 120, and then it's not actually 240%. It's actually higher than that because the extra 120 is multiplicatively, you know, combined with the first 120. Then he has a high chance to guard against all attacks if there is a Genuforce category ally other than this character on the team. So that's good, but I would have preferred if it was either a great chance or just he straight up had guard, right? A lot of characters recently, well, not a lot, but there have been a significant amount of characters that this game has released recently that have guard. And so I think, honestly, we're past the phase of having characters having a chance to guard. I think at this point, you either have it or you don't have it. And the reason why I say that is because if you have a chance to guard, because this is a true coin flip, high chance is a 50% chance. So if you only have a 50% chance to have guard, you can't reliably put this guy in slot 1 and expect him to just be able to stand his ground and take hits without taking damage, because you have no idea whether or not he's going to be guarding or not. So that unreliability is going to hurt you in the long run, because you just don't have no idea if he'll be able to eat the damage or not. Like the difference between guarding and not guarding, like if you're in a Super Battle Road run, for instance, right, and you're going up against an STR enemy in slot 1, that is going to make the difference between this guy being a really powerful slot 1 unit and a terrible slot 1 unit. Because if he gets tagged by the super attack from the STR unit and his guard doesn't activate, he's dead. You lose. So I don't know. I think at this point we are beyond the point of having units where they have a chance to guard instead of just having a guaranteed guard. So that's the Raccoon EZA. Definitely not terrible, but I think I do like Goldo a little better. But this attack and defense boost that he's getting from the passive once he gets fully built up, I mean, it's only 4 attacks. It's going to be pretty good. I think he's going to be hitting very hard, especially with the great raise attack on super attack as well. This is the title screen that we are seeing here. Basically the same art that we saw earlier. It's also a Gohan and Krillin in here too. So obviously Namek in the background. I mean, personally, I think this title screen is pretty bad. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the art. I think for me, this looks like a title screen that they've had in reserve for like years or something, and now they're finally getting to release this. But the support memory too. I forgot to talk about this. So we're getting this Ginyu posing support memory. By the way, this scene, this is when Ginyu's posing against Goku, and then the camera like pans to Goku, and he's copying the pose. But extreme class allies attack and defense plus 10% for 2 turns if there is a super class enemy once only. That is actually a really nice support memory. 2-turn buff for 10% attack and defense for extreme class allies. That's going to be pretty good. If you're going into a Super Battle Road run that's like, you know, Terrifying Conquerors, Wicked Bloodline, movie bosses, like this is a very, very powerful support memory, which I'll probably be using pretty often actually. And then the last unit here is the SSR Zarbon. We kind of already knew that this guy was coming out because his preview was in the news last night. It's actually on global as well, so you guys don't technically need the translation here, but leader skill is the Space Traveling Warriors, key plus 2, HP attack and defense plus 30%. The super attack is causes supreme damage, and then the passive is attack and defense plus 60%. Gains an additional attack and defense plus 10% per attack performed, max of 40%. and then he gains an additional attack and defense plus 40% if there's a character whose name includes Frieza with Force excluded attacking in the same turn. Well, I guess technically this should be Soldier, not Force. Let me just take a look. Yeah, this is Soldier right here. Okay, so it should be Frieza Soldier. I mean, the reason why they do that is so that you don't put like the N Frieza Soldier and he gets like the buff or something like that. I don't know. The links are Solid Support, Cold Judgment, Frieza's Minion, Frieza's Army, Loyalty, and Nightmare. And this is, I guess, sort of where the problem comes in with the Zarbon right away, is the fact that he wants to be used alongside of Frieza to get the extra buff from his passive, but he's missing out on these links because Frieza doesn't have any of these links, right? Frieza doesn't have Solid Support, Cold Judgment, Frieza's Minion, Frieza's Army, Loyalty, but he could have Nightmare. So they'll be sharing one link. But to me, the fact that they want this Zarbon to be next to a Frieza, I mean, keep in mind, this guy's only an SSR right now, so he'll definitely be awakening into a TUR and then potentially even an LR, or if they want to go down the route of just easy-aing the TUR, they could do that as well. So this guy has a long way to go before we see his max potential in terms of what his passive is going to be, and super attack as well. I mean, the super attack is literally nothing. It's just a supreme damage. What they could do is they could either make this guy a transforming unit, right? We can have the base form Zarbon into Monster Zarbon, similar to how we had the AGL Piccolo transformed and fused with Nail back during the 3-year anniversary. Or they could do, you know, this guy maybe awakens into a, I don't know, Frieza Force card or something like that. Zarbon parentheses Frieza Force, where you have like Dodoria in the card as well. Maybe you have like a Pool in the card, there's Kuwa in the card, and it's just basically just all the Frieza Force characters are in there. And that would make it make sense why he has these links here. But to me, right now, I mean, there's not really much to go off of here. It's pretty much just the skeleton of the unit. And then last but not least, we have this new event coming out, which is a special event. You can do it once only. So this event is where you get the meat items for doing this once a day. This is when the Z Fighters were training under King Kai. It's called Bravery times 100. Warriors gather under King Kai. So pretty similar to the past meat item event that we had. Nothing too special there, but it's cool to see that they're you know, showcasing different units, different points or different parts of the series here, which we haven't seen in the game before, with like, you know, the training under King Kai. That's pretty cool. So that is it for that. One other thing I did want to point out really quickly is that there's a bunch of new story assets. I don't think anything in terms of like card art stuff was released right now. This Frieza to me does seem pretty good in terms of quality. I don't think this is card art level quality, but to me this seems like it could be something that they use as part of a super attack animation. But it's interesting. I mean, this is art that we've never seen before, First Form Frieza. And to me this... Oh, that did not mean to do that. To me this... It's hard to say exactly where this was taken from, but because he's not in the pod, and the way that he's looking, I mean, I assume this is from the Nail fight, or when he's talking to Nail, when he gets jumped by those three Namekians, maybe. But it's around that same time where he's like heading off to Guru and stuff like that. I think this is where this art is from. Then we have the Genuforce art. This is obviously way worse quality than the Frieza one. You could very easily tell that. And then we have the Cooler's Armored Squadron as well. So I believe these will all be part of the story events that are coming out. But that's pretty much it here. Shout out to Dokkan Assets for providing the assets here. But that's it. Let me know down below what you guys think of both the new movie that came out as well as the new EZAS for the Genuforce, the new Zarbon. Do you guys think this could be card art potentially, or what do you guys think this is? I think it's just going to probably end up being a super attack asset, but hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one.